I'm going to try to do this without a whiteboard because I don't think I need it. I don't think I need it. So, in between periods between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers tonight, I decided to watch the finale, the finish, the end of AEW's Dynamite tonight. Holy crap. The one thing that I always ask myself with an angle is, okay, who is this making into a big star? Look way back. Rocky Maivia, not getting over as a face, turns heel, joins the Nation of Domination. The Rock is born, and over the upcoming months, The Rock becomes bigger than life, and he's a huge star. Stone Cold has this feud with Bret Hart. They do the double switch at WrestleMania 13. Stone Cold Steve Austin becomes the hottest wrestler on the planet. Nobody could outdraw Stone Cold to this day. If Stone Cold was going to wrestle, and if it was going to be anywhere near where I live, I'd have to go and see it. I'd be like, if Stone Cold's going to wrestle, I have to go watch it. And I'm aware that he's older, he can't do what he used to do, and I'm probably not going to see him take any bumps. That's fine with me. If I had a chance to see Stone Cold wrestle, I'm going to do it. So the whole angle with the EVPs, and now it's Bryan Danielson and the former Blackpool Combat Club. I mean, I say former because like William Regal's gone, so it's not really the. But anyways, nobody's from Blackpool is what I'm trying to say. So because Regal's gone, so you have Satnam saying against Bryan Danielson, and I will say Satnam's learning. He's getting better. There's still some work to be done. He did miss the kick. And now Danielson sold it like it hit, but clearly, if you're watching, it didn't hit. So you have the predictable schmoz at the end, where Jeff Jarrett, everybody else jumps in and starts beating up Bryan Danielson. The EVPs come out and they pay Sanjay Dutt. Here, this is for taking out Bryan Danielson. The show should have ended there. The show should have ended there. The EVPs drop out of the ring and they're like, that's what you get for messing with us, Bryan Danielson. And have Danielson stay down in the ring and it's over. But no. No. They went overtime. It went over. That was a mistake. So the EVPs go to pick up Bryan Danielson to give him the EVP trigger, right? And he gets out of the way. So they knee each other instead. They weren't hurt that badly by it, which tells me you just exposed your own move doesn't hurt. Okay. Also, Bryan Danielson had been beaten up by, what, 3 guys? Because you had Jarrett, you had Jay Lethal, and you had Satnam Singh. And he just jumps right back up. All right. So go get your money back from Sanjay Dutt because Danielson jumped right back up. He looks fine. So then out comes Okada and Jack Perry and Jungle Jack Perry, Perry Jack, Jungle. Just kneeing him in the back, and then Okada's beating him up. So they all beat him up. The wannabe horsemen. They're not horsemen, but they act like they're horsemen, but they're not horsemen. The horsemen had some gravitas to them. They had some. There was always this feeling of I don't know who's going to stop the horsemen, and I don't get that with this angle. I just don't get that. I don't know if it's that I don't care. Like I'm so disappointed because when they did what they did with Tony Khan, I was like, you know what, this could work if they do it right. No. So where they blow it is that okay, Darby Allin's banned from the ring, and so are the Blackpool Combat Club. Okay, if I'm booking it, it ends with the EVPs leaving the ring, and Bryan Danielson is down. He is hurt. He is selling that he is hurt. You can revisit the storyline next week. Or, okay, fine. EVPs come out and beat him up. I have John Moxley. I have Claudio Castagnoli come in and make the save anyways, even though they're banned. And you know what? Then the following week, I have the EVPs suspend them, and then they can sit in the crowd. They can sit in the front row and go, hey, we bought tickets. I know it's a storyline that's been done before, but with Moxley, I think it could work. I think he could sit in the front row and ham it up, be right there in front of the hard camera, and have, the young bucks in a match, and he just distracts them constantly. And they get so ticked off about it, eventually they reinstate him, and there you go. And it doesn't have to go on that long. But no. Darby Allin was banned from the building, so Tony Khan drops him off, meaning Tony Khan's going to be an on-air character in AEW. The absolute worst decision they can make. Easily the worst decision that could be made. He's not good at it. We saw that with him with the neck brace and just looking around. He can't sell an injury, and he can't. He doesn't have whatever Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon have had when they've run companies. Whatever Paul Heyman had when he ran ECW. Khan doesn't have that. Should not be on TV. They need to get somebody else running this on the air. Somebody else is the new commissioner. Something like that. Take an injured wrestler, make them the commissioner. It's an old WWE trope, yes. But we're doing an old WCW thing here with the NWO angle, and to me it's not clicking at all. So Bryan Danielson gets beat up by the wannabe horsemen. They're not horsemen. They're the EVPs and the whole elite crap. And Darby Allin comes out with a flamethrower. He comes out with a flamethrower. Now, again, if this was in my old wrestling thing, if somebody had said to me, it said, you know what we're gonna do, Shannon, is have the good guys getting beaten down, and I'm gonna come out with a flamethrower. And do you know what I would have told somebody who would have suggested that? That's really effing stupid. And I would have said the actual word too. I would have said that's really effing stupid. You can't use a flamethrower. That's attempted murder. You're going to jail. So dial it back a bit. Why don't you come out with a chair? Why don't you come out with, I don't know, a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire? Go old school with it. You're not coming out with a flamethrower. That is not going to work because it is, at the very least, assault, and it is attempted murder. You're not actually going to hit them with it. And if you come out with a flamethrower, I'm going to have the heels walk up to your face and go ahead, shoot me with a flamethrower. Do it. Because a face, a good guy, is not... I can't believe I'm having to say this. I can't believe maybe it's 2024 and I just don't understand wrestling anymore. The good guy, the face, the one you're cheering for, probably not going to shoot the bad guy in the face with a flamethrower. I just don't. Oh, I like Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin's a good wrestler. I'm not sure what this angle is doing. Who's over? Who's it making? If you're gonna make Jack Perry, then make Jack Perry, fine. But he's not wrestling. He's always coming out in his t-shirt and his jeans and all, like, yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad. Okay, well then wrestle. I don't know, fight somebody. Do something. I find the whole thing bizarre. I don't understand any of this. You have Darby Allin getting dropped off in the parking lot by Tony Khan. Did they go to the flamethrower store together? Did they go to like in GTA I can go and buy a flamethrower in the gun store. Did they go to the GTA gun store? At least I think you can buy the flamethrower. You have to do the all the other crap though, I think, to get the face can't use a flamethrower. He can't. So, and then Bryan Danielson jumps right back up. Bryan Danielson got beat up by like 8 people and just jumps right back up. I'm fine. You have completely buried your heels. I hated watching WCW, and every week the NWO would be all standing in the ring doing the too sweet to each other while some poor face character is down in the middle of the ring. The next guy is going to join the NWO because he's like, this sucks. I have to be here while 15 guys beat me up. But they stayed down, except Sting. Sting was the only one that could just have these weird powers. Having Bryan Danielson just jump right back up no-sells all the offense from your heels. The whole schmozzle. Sanjay Dutt's group, nothing. Bryan Danielson jumps right back up. And I love the American Dragon. I loved his outfit tonight too. I thought that jacket was fantastic. The dragon scales, nice touch. But he has to stay down. If you're going to make the angle work, he has to stay down. You have to have the announcer saying, how is he going to wrestle on Sunday? How is he going to be able to come back in the pay-per-view? He's down. He's injured. He just got beat up by 8 guys. Nope. He's right back up. And there's Darby Allin with his flamethrower. I just flamethrower. Like, who, what, why, what, who made this call? Oh, God. Oh, and I don't know. I just don't find it threatening. I don't find Darby Allin with a flamethrower threatening. It'd be no different than if on the next Raw, Chad Gable decides he's going to get rid of Tozawa, and Tozawa comes out with a flamethrower. Ah! Give him 2. You have 1 in each hand. It's ridiculous. He's not going to shoot the flamethrower at people. So call him on it. Why are the heels running away? He's one guy. He's not going to hit you with a flamethrower. Nobody's going to do that. What? Why? So I don't know. I can only imagine Jim Cornette watching that. I don't always agree with Cornette either. I know people have made comparisons to my opinion on wrestling with Cornette's, and I understand they do sometimes align, but very often they don't necessarily, or he's a little more down on things than I am. But it broke my brain a little bit. It broke my brain a little bit seeing the good guy coming out with a flamethrower. Like, or do the fire spot, right? You get a little piece of flash paper, little fireball. Do that. Do the fire spot. That, I don't like the idea of a face doing that, because you should have a clear definition of who the good guys and the bad guys are. Because again, a guy coming out with a flamethrower and threatening to burn the faces off his opponents, not necessarily a sympathetic face. Is he going to come out with that? Like, when Drew McIntyre comes out with the sword, you never get the feeling he's actually going to use it. You just don't. Because obviously, he doesn't want to go to jail. Right? That's just basic common stuff here. And so it's a prop. It's the sword's a prop for Drew McIntyre. And yeah, it's badass. Drew McIntyre has one of the best productions to how his entrance works of any wrestler in the world. His music is, I think, the best. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think Drew McIntyre's entrance music might be the best entrance music I've ever heard in my entire time watching wrestling. I would put it ahead of Stone Cold's. I'd put it ahead of Bret Hart's, some of my all-time favorites. Darby has this weird music that has kind of this Nirvana feel to it, but not like it's, and so it's not threatening music. Like when Drew's hits and the drums hit and you hear that very Scottish sounding mix of the song, and he comes out in those drums, ding 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 ding, and you hear it, and he comes out and he's a big dude. He's big. He's ripped. Darby comes out, he's wearing pink, he's got this cool little like skater anthem and a flamethrower. I want AEW to succeed. I want AEW to be a good company that draws a lot of ratings and draws a lot of fans, because again, when you have more than one company that works, it's best for the wrestlers. If AEW went down tomorrow, you're looking at 100 wrestlers out of jobs, because then ROH goes by the wayside as well. They're tied to one another. I don't get it. I don't. Oh my gosh. Oh. Flamethrower. It breaks me, because again, I wouldn't have allowed it with my old E-Fed. Like, you're not coming up with a flamethrower. I want to come up with a flamethrower. No. Bring the flamethrower out in the parking lot. I'll have the heels run you over. Like, no, you're not using a flamethrower. Be realistic. Don't be stupid. Here I am watching it on TV and there's a flamethrower. Who? Like, I would not greenlight that. No. Absolutely not. I would have like, Darby, grab a chair. But there's 4 guys. Then grab a big chair. I don't know. Grab a chair. But again, in reality, if I was booking it, I would have said, Mox, Claudio, you guys are getting involved. We'll ban you from the building. You'll come out. You'll get suspended. And then you'll get reinstated for a fight with these guys. But that's me. or have them banned, and then they can come in and fight at the pay-per-view, and then they're banned again. But not this. Just it's not. It's. I don't think I've ever seen anything that has really made me go, wait, what? Like that. Like and I've watched wrestling for at least 40 years, and that was the most bewildering thing I've seen. I have watched the Gooker. I have watched Mae Young give birth to a hand. I have, and I mean all of that. I was like, because they're comedy angles. It's not your main event angle. Like if the whole Mae Young thing had been the main event angle for WWE back then, we would have been like, what is this crap? But it wasn't. It was a throwaway. It was a stupid angle. Poor Mark Henry got caught up in it, and they had to send him down to work on his character and bring him back up after he'd been rehabilitated, because the whole sexual chocolate thing just ruined his believability as a mega heel, as a tough man in the ring. I just so is Darby going to come out with a flamethrower now? Is that going to be his thing? Are we going to have guys come out in like the fire suits, pretend they're not in the fire suits, and he's going to light them up? Like I don't know. I had figured today I'd be here talking to you people about the Doctor Who episode I watched last night that was great. I'll have to do that tomorrow. This is just as something. So let me know your thoughts. If you watched today's Dynamite, let me know your thoughts. What are they doing with Okada? Is a question I'd ask as well. I understand physically he's a little broken down from all the years he spent wrestling prior to this, and maybe he's hurt or whatever, but it feels like there's a lot of potential being wasted in this, basically. If you're going to have a feud this big, that's going to take place over months, who are you making? They're not making the next Rock. They're not making the next Stone Cold. They're not making a mega star out of anybody. And that, to me, is almost criminal, to have this whole angle where the owner's involved, and it should involve everybody in the company, but it's just a few guys here. It's not affecting the whole company. It should, because of the scope of it, because of who was attacked and who's carried out the attack, but it just it's flamethrower. I can't. That breaks me. So I apologize to people who might think that was really cool with him with the flamethrower. It's also not. It's not realistic. It's not. It's not. It's not realistic. He's not going to shoot them in the face with a flamethrower. I was really hoping Kenny Omega would get out of that truck. I was like, if Kenny Omega drives up here, this is a perfect time for Kenny Omega to show up and make the save. It's Darby Allin. This would be a good time for Hangman Page. It's Darby Allin. And I'm not saying that to put Darby Allin down, but in that moment, you want it to be a bit of a surprise. You want it to be somebody the crowd's really, really, really not expecting. Or don't make the save. They beat up Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. However you want to look at it, his WWE name or his AEW name, which of course is his real name. But you've got to leave that element of Danielson's really badly hurt now. Is he going to be able to go for the pay-per-view? But he just jumps right back up. I'm fine. I'm all right. Okay, that kinesio tape must be fantastic for protecting against injury. I need some next time I play street hockey. All right, but let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And that was ridiculous. I had to make a video on it. So if you thought it was great, if you thought it was a fantastic angle, I apologize. I always think that way of, okay, are they behaving like faces? Are they behaving like heels? Because if they're not, you might be confusing the crowd as to who they're really supposed to root for. WWE's done that too, but not flamethrower level that I can remember. I mean, I've seen guys come out with weapons, but usually it's just like it's a prop and then it's gone, right? It's a prop and it's gone. Like Triple H didn't come out dressed like the Terminator and then wrestle dressed like the Terminator. No, he just came out looking like a weird, like the Conan stuff too. Triple H would wear all this weird, ridiculous stuff, but in the ring, he didn't wear it because that's ridiculous. It's just a prop. But in this case, the flamethrower seemed like I could hit you with this. That's kind of, well, My friend's getting beaten up. Where's my flamethrower? That seems like it's a really, really massive escalation all of a sudden. So, but it's me. Let me know if you disagree. I know people will, but I'm just absolutely bewildered. I might have said, "What the hell was that?" Yeah. So let me know your thoughts. I may very well be completely wrong. I'm okay with being wrong in this case, because I don't understand. Because again, when there's an angle, who are they making? So going back to WWE, they made Jey Uso. They made Sami Zayn. Like Roman Reigns' title reign went on too long, but it made Cody Rhodes. It made Sami Zayn. It made Jey Uso. It made people who were already stars bigger stars. And what they're doing right now with Drew McIntyre, with all the stuff with CM Punk, with him getting the title for 5 minutes and then losing it to Damian Priest, it's making Drew McIntyre a more complicated, layered character. And when he wins that title back, he'll feel more threatening and he'll feel more like a champion than he even did when he won it the first time against Seth. So, like, that's the thing. Who is being made into a bigger star is where I'm kind of losing the plot with AEW at this point. So, like, for instance, Mercedes Moné fighting with Willow Nightingale ideally makes Willow a bigger star. I get the feeling that Mercedes is going to win it, that she'll win the title, and if she ends up winning the feud, that's going to be counterproductive. Willow has to win that feud. They have to build her up. But we'll see what they do. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I'll stop now. I could go on for a while. I when I see something on TV that I'm like, I wouldn't have okayed that with my eFed that wasn't even a real wrestling company. I would have been like, that's not realistic. I'm not doing that. And there were times that I did that I said, that's not realistic, guys. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not writing that. Well, I'll write it. No, you're not writing it either, because we're not doing that. Because I want some sense of realism here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support, though. Thanks for attending my TED Talk. I will talk to you again soon.